This first section, you'll have a WordPress website up and running. You'll know how to navigate WordPress. You'll know how to install a theme so that your website looks and feels like you want. And you're even going to set up your home page. The first thing you need to do if you want to build a WordPress site that's live for the public is to purchase hosting. Hosting is the back end of your website where your actual files are saved. WordPress is the framework that allows you to edit your website, but it's not where your files are hosted. There are many different hosting services out there. I've used Bluehost for a number of years for all of my websites, and I can recommend it. There's other ones out there that other people recommend, like HostGator, but I'm going to show you how to install WordPress with Bluehost because it's what I would do if I were you. Now, for other people, if you're using another host, I'll try to include resources for how to install WordPress on those hosts as well. So to get started, I'm going to actually walk through the entire process. If you go to bluehost.com, what you're going to want to do is click Get Started Now. You can select your different plans. These different plans have different options. So if you go with the basic plans, you only get one website. You have a limited amount of space for that website. Even though 50 gigabytes seems like a lot, it potentially could get filled up if you end up having a huge website with lots of files, photos, those kinds of things that you upload to it. You can only have up to 5 domains, 25 subdomains. These are things that as you grow, you might want to consider upgrading. And that's another thing. You can upgrade to any of these accounts later on. These other ones include different types of things like unmetered bandwidth and space and websites. But for this class, I'm just going to go with the basic one just to get started. If you already have a domain name, you can submit it here on the right, and you're going to have to transfer it. Say you purchased a domain name from GoDaddy.com or Namecheap or another domain registrar, you're going to have to transfer it to Bluehost. If I want a new one, then I click over here and I can choose a new one. For this website test, I'm going to create a website based off of my very simple woodworking designs. So I'm going to call it Ebony Designs. Now .com is the best one, but if I want something cheaper just to play around with, I can use a .site or some of these other different domain extensions. So let's just click next to make sure that this domain name is available. It looks like it was available, so the next thing you would do is fill out your name and all of your information. And then under your package information, you can choose which package you want. So for example, on Bluehost, there's different packages, and the deal gets better the more months that you pay for up front. So choose the price that fits your plan. Now there's different options that you might want to consider. One is domain privacy protection. This is really important, and if you click any of these more information buttons, it will give you more information about it. If you don't have domain privacy protection, then your address and your email address are actually out in the public once you register for your domain name. So I would consider that one. The other one, Site Backup Pro, Search Engine Jumpstart, Site Lock Security, all of these things, we're going to be learning how to install plugins that do just the same thing, but for free, and some other options. So I wouldn't recommend not choosing any of these over here. Lastly, you input your payment information and then click Submit. So go ahead, fill this out, and purchase your hosting before moving on to the next step. Once you have signed up for Bluehost, log into your account and under Hosting, click on cPanel. Then click Install WordPress. It'll take you to this new page and say Get Started. You're going to choose the domain name that you just registered. For me, I have different domain names that I've purchased. I'm actually using my main account for Bluehost now because I can purchase multiple domain names under the same host. So now I can click ebonydesigns.com, which is the new website that I want to build for this course. Select that domain, leave the directory empty unless you want it to point to a separate website. So if you typed in home, for example, then when you go to ebonydesigns.com, it would take you to ebonydesigns.com/home. So leave it blank so people can get straight to that domain name. Click Next, and then it will show you your admin username, email address, and password. Check these two boxes saying that you understand that the install will take place on this domain and that you've read the terms. Then click Install. Once you get this installation complete banner up here, you're ready to rock and roll. You'll also receive an email with the web address and your information for logging in. So go ahead and go to the website address, which will be your domain name, .com or whatever your extension is, /wp-admin. This is how you log on to your WordPress site. Now, input the username or email address and password that you were given in the last step of installing WordPress. Great, now you have WordPress installed for your brand new website. Now, to log on and to edit your website, always remember that you're going to go to your website url.com/wp admin and then input your username and password. The Bluehost account or your hosting account is separate, and you might have to log into that to adjust things, to register new domains or things like that. But for the rest of this class, we won't be dealing with hosting as much as just with your website itself. So whether you're using the free option of ServerPress or a hosting option like Bluehost, we now have WordPress installed and are ready to start building our own website. Now you have a WordPress installation for your own website, whether it's through ServerPress or through your own hosting. The first thing that opens up is this welcome mat, and if you want, WordPress can help guide you through building your own website. But for those of you in this class, you probably don't need any help because that's what I'm here for. So just click the I don't need help button. This is your home page. This is the dashboard of WordPress. And in this video, I just want to quickly go over the main menu and help you navigate getting around WordPress. You can see on the left-hand side a menu with different options. Right now we're highlighted on the dashboard, and that's because we're on the dashboard. There's a lot of things happening right now, and when you first install WordPress, a lot of things are going to be needed to be updated or installed, because with the latest versions of WordPress, depending on who you're hosting with, they will already come pre-installed with certain plugins or certain tools. For example, with Bluehost, we already have this Bluehost, this marketplace option, things you might not see if you're using ServerPress. Contact Form, Opt-in Monster, these are plugins that are pre-installed when we installed via Bluehost. Don't worry if you don't see these, that's okay. The main things you need to know are the dashboard. This is your home page. We're going to learn how to customize it and really dive into what you can do on your home page in a future lesson. Going down the left-hand menu, we have this first plugin. It's kind of an all-star plugin called Jetpack, and this comes with a ton of cool tools. We're going to be going over all the different plugins and tools that I recommend in a later section. Below that, we have our posts. Now, when you hover over some of these menu items, a different submenu pops up. So for example, under Posts, you can click All Posts to view all of the posts you've written, and Posts, think of Posts as your articles or your blog posts. You can click Add New, or you can see your categories and tags. Media, this is all of your uploads, such as photos or files that you upload. Pages, these are all the pages of your website. Again, you see the submenu where you can view all pages, or you can click Add New to add a new page. I'm going to skip over Contact Form because that's only for this install of WordPress. You have comments, so if you have comments on your website, you can moderate them there. Appearance, this is a very important one where you're going to customize your theme, your menus, what everything looks like, and we're going to be diving into this in the next lesson, including installing and finding a new theme. Plugins are all kinds of tools that you can install for your website, doing everything from commenting, security, contact forms, social media, sharing, SEO, all kinds of things happen with the plugins. Users, you can add users to your website if you want to have other authors or other people who help with your website. That's in this user menu. Tools, this is another menu that when you do install certain plugins, you might actually have more tools appear under this menu. And then same with settings. We have some basic settings for how our website works in terms of which page is the home page versus the blog page, if comments appear or not, different things that we'll be covering in the rest of this course. Up at the very top, you have our site title, which we didn't edit when we installed WordPress via Bluehost, but we're going to edit that in a moment. And if you want to view your site, you can just click this View Site button. Then you have these different icons up here. Some refer to comments. If you have any comments, you have a new button if you want to easily and quickly add a new post, page, user, or upload new media. And then for me, I have this marketplace, which is there because I downloaded via Bluehost, and so there's different marketplace options. So let me just click on that and I'll show you what it looks like. So because I installed with Bluehost, Bluehost gives us all kinds of tools and things that we can use right within our WordPress site. We're not going to use this tool because I'm going to be showing you free tools and other plugins that I suggest using. So back to our site, I clicked Visit Site and it opened up this new tab. And here is our website. It's already up there live, and if anyone goes to it, you can see this. Now at this point, if you actually go to ebonierdesigns.com, it might not be live. I'm probably not going to publish it for the world to see, but if you have created your website and you share your link, this is what it's going to look like. Now, WordPress has pre-installed a theme that I'm using right now. Each year, WordPress comes out with a custom theme, so this is the 2017 theme, but we're going to be looking into installing a new theme in the next lesson. So that's the basic WordPress layout. The main thing when you log in is you'll appear on your dashboard, and one other thing I'll mention is updates. This is something you should do every time you log in. Go under dashboard to the updates to see if there are any updates for your website. This might include updates for plugins, for themes, or for WordPress itself. Right now I'm using WordPress version 4.7.2, but sometimes WordPress does get a facelift or some sort of update that might have to do with security, so you want to make sure that you're updating to the latest forms of your plugins or themes or whatever. So to do that, you will click on whatever needs to be updated and then click Update Plugins. Now there are other ways to update individual plugins via the plugin page, but that's the easiest way right from this Updates page. Now I've updated that plugin that was already pre-installed and I have no more notifications for updates. Cool, so that's it for the dashboard right now. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to install a new theme.